Backs are split behind Kurt Warner. Takes, back to throw, under some pressure, rainbows the far sideline, and it is caught!
Yes!
Touchdown
Yes!
Rams!
Yes!
Ricky Proehl!
Yes! And he went deep on that.
Ricky Proehl, the veteran, listen to this crowd! Ricky Proehl, no touchdown catches all year, and he makes this touchdown catch to put the Rams in the lead in this NFC Championship game.
Welcome to Rams Iconic. I'm your host, DeMarco Farr, and this is the podcast where I get to catch up with some of the greatest players in Rams franchise history. It's a chance for you, the fans, to take a trip down memory lane, reminisce a little bit about some of the greatest moments you've had as Rams fans, but also it's a great opportunity to introduce to some of our newer fans the iconic players that have made this franchise what it is right now. My next guest, he was a Ram from 1998 to 2002, a wide receiver for the greatest show on turf, along with being a two-time Super Bowl champion. He is, and I call him rock and roll, Ricky Proehl. Now, where are you sitting right now?
I am sitting in my office at Prolific Park, which is a family fitness center and sports complex in Greensboro, North Carolina, that I opened up going on 14 years ago.
No, is this something you always wanted to do? Like open up a fitness center, get into athletic training? Are you training for football or all sports or just general health?
All sports. It was something, I know it wasn't something that I, while I was playing said, man, this is something I want to do. It was more or less towards the end of my career, when you start to realize, hey, the end is really close. And what am I going to do life after football? And I think for me, DeMarco, I just realized how many people, coaches, mom and dad, teachers, teammates, the impact that sports had on me, the mentors that really changed my life, that helped me, when I needed a kick in the butt to get me back in the right direction. When I was a snotty-nosed kid from New Jersey, just, sometimes not on the right path. And I just had amazing people in my life that just helped me to stay on track and just believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And so I wanted to create a platform for kids. I felt like, I grew up, I'd get on a bike and go meet my buddies in the schoolyard to play basketball or the churchyard to play football. And I felt like my kids were getting to an age where, I wasn't going to let them get on a bike and go. And it was, children haven't changed, but society has. And I wanted to create a safe haven where kids could thrive and learn life skills through sports. So that's kind of where the whole Prolific Park came about. And
wow,
my experience through sports.
So, 1998, and this is funny. I'm reading this off the bio, something we wrote for you. You come to the Rams in 1998, and then it flips to he becomes one of the greatest receivers on the greatest show on turf. Let's talk about that 1998 year, about that. When you first came to the Rams, what were we then, in your opinion, when you got there? Bad? See, I didn't know we were bad. Were we bad?
No, we weren't bad. But at the end of the day, we were 4-12. To me, at the end of the year, and you said we're going to win the Super Bowl next year, I'd say you're on drugs. Right. But this is also coming from a person up until that point had been on a lot of losing teams.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it felt like a lot of the losing teams I've been on, is certain guys wanted out. I'm not going to say any names. You could tell they were tired of it. They wanted to be gone. And I think the one thing about it is, the following year you started, we didn't know Torrey was going to be Torrey. Obviously we got Marshall, and we had heard rumors what Marshall was, and he was nothing what we had heard,
Right.
He furthest from the truth of, he was unbelievable as far as work ethic and everything else. And you bring in, Trent Green, and we're lighting it up, and and Trent gets hurt. But the thing is Coach Vermeil never lost faith, and just he had a plan, and he stuck to his plan, and he was putting the pieces together. I felt like I was one of those from bringing in the year before Ray Agnew, and then coming in with Trent Green and trading for Marshall. Him and Charlie had a great relationship, Army, and did a great job of putting the pieces together. And I always ask them, because I don't know if you remember, we ran off a lot of people. Joe Phillips.
Joe's still running. Yeah,
exactly. And, and I asked Coach, and I said, Coach, how come in '98 you beat us down, and to oblivion in training camp, and then the next year we didn't wear pads in camp, And he just said, we had a young football team. I needed to teach these young guys that when we have no pads, that doesn't mean a day off. We're still going to work. We're still going to, get better, work on the game plan, this, that, and the other. But he had a plan, and it was something that, I had never been around winning in the NFL. So, I just did what I did, and that's to try to get better and work hard. But at the end of the day, we were 4-12.
And I'm glad you said that 1998 was hard for you, because it was brutal, man. It was rough, and we were trying to run off guys. And I was so, how do I say this? Not happy, but the self-respect grew when we were allowed to take pads off and work, because that told me we were becoming a pretty good team. And I remember when he was trying to teach us how to win, one of the things he put up on the board was what playoff teams do, how they win, and all that sort of stuff. Stuff I didn't know before. No one's ever mentioned that stuff to me. Did you have those moments with Proehl in the meeting rooms too?
Yes. Well, it's like you said, I didn't know what winning looked like. I didn't know if I was good enough to be on a winning team at that point. When you lose for 9 years, you just feel like I'm part of the problem. Maybe I'm not good enough, and he solidified all of that by like I said, he method to his madness. He told me too, one of the biggest things, he says, you got to surround yourself with people who are like you, that are willing to work hard, that are willing to fight through the tough times. And those are the ones you can trust, that they're going to be there.
It was hard. When did you know in 99? I'll tell you when I knew. When I saw Trent Green line up at quarterback, and behind him was Marshall. And then I look out and I see the receiving core we had. We had Torrey, Isaac. You're there. Orlando's at left tackle. I'm looking at Kevin saying, man, this is better than any offense we face on Sunday for the last 4 years. If we don't mess this up on defense, we got a shot to be a playoff team at least. When did you know?
I knew it probably wasn't that early for me. I knew probably when it was week 3 or 4, when we just started putting up points, like people couldn't stop us. It was just, it was so much fun. I can't even explain it, to be in and had personal success, but never as a team. And then just to be firing on all cylinders every week. And then it was like playing in the backyard. It was unbelievable. And how we were slinging it around, and Marshall was doing his thing. And then we started fighting to block guys downfield, to spring Marshall to try to get him as a 60-yard touchdown, opposed to just a 40-yard gain or a 30-yard gain. That's when I think it probably took 4 or 5 games, because it takes sometimes you come out hot. I've been on Arizona Cardinals where we come out 2-0. We're feeling good. Next thing you know, we're 2-10, You
didn't trust it yet. Yeah.
Right. So I just been through, I've been scarred, So I had a lot of scars. So I wasn't believing, this may be too good to be true. But like you said, when you look around and you're like, man, we are loaded. We got tight ends that are freaking unbelievable, Ernie.
Right.
It was just, and then I think the biggest thing for me more than anything was, and then, obviously great as Sean Turk, but then you look on our defense, we're number 6 in the league, and we're downs on defense. And the biggest thing for me more than anything that taught me, I was a selfish player. And I think when you're on losing teams, you become selfish because you have to take care of you, and you have to motivate yourself and do everything. And we were around a bunch of selfless players that we didn't care who scored, who got the credit. It was about winning. And that was the most fun thing. That's where my whole career changed. My whole mental state of just to being a team player changed. It was amazing.
I just got chills. I did when you said that, because that's so hard to find. It was hard to get to. And I haven't seen a team like it since. And that's just being honest. Maybe they'll get there. This current group will get there, but it was nothing like that group. It was all about just us, and there was nothing bigger than us and winning. It was just great. Yeah, it was big stuff. So you know what we're building to, right? So we roll through the regular season. We get into the postseason. We beat the Minnesota Vikings, which was a fun back and forth game. That was great. I mean, I think about that all the time. We beat, just from a defensive perspective, Randy Moss, Chris Carter, and Jeff George when Jeff George was Jeff George. Plus they had Robert Smith who was tearing it up. So, I mean, getting past those guys was huge. And then we get to Tampa Bay. And this is where the rubber meets the road. They were good defensively. I think, 2 seasons after, they became Super Bowl champs, which means they were ready then. So we always come to this in Rams Iconic. It's called my favorite play. I hope your favorite play is the play I'm about to describe. Ricky Proehl catching the game-winning touchdown in the NFC Championship game to beat Tampa Bay and to send us to the Super Bowl. There is no Kurt Warner movie. There is no underdog story without Ricky Proehl. There isn't. There isn't. I mean, there might not be some Hall of Fames without Ricky Proehl when you think about it. Guys getting over the hump with yards. I mean, the ring is a big thing. Without this catch, we're not there. This story kind of has a funny ending without this catch. So take me through this catch in the NFC Championship game versus Tampa.
Well, it's like you said, Tampa, I mean, unbelievable defense. And looking back now and at the time, I think it started becoming a tight game. We were pretty confident going in. We had the utmost respect for their defense, but at that point we felt like we could score on anybody. I mean, and obviously Torrey gets banged up early. Oz gets banged up a little bit. They're kind of stopping us. They're hitting us in the mouth. And I think as later the game, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but I thought, when you get to that point in the playoffs, you almost become conservative somewhat. Yeah. And I felt like Martz, the first time all year is when he started getting a little conservative instead of kind of doing what we do. And in his defense, now being a former coach, I can kind of understand that somewhat because you don't want to strip fumble. You don't want to pick six in that point in the game. But getting back to, we're getting that point 6-5 on the 30-yard line. We call flex left, 585 H choice. Wow. I think it was in 4. And we're trying to get Marshall the ball. We're trying to get him one-on-one on the linebacker. But we had worked on all week that these guys jump the slants, the sight adjustments, the hot route. If the safety comes out of the middle field or they blitz, we normally run slants, but they jump the slants. So whoever's out there, it would have been Oz. But Oz was banged up most of the game. I mean, I had a pretty good game up until that point.
6 catches, 100. Yeah.
Somebody, I don't know if it was us. I can't remember. I mean, I'm getting old. I can't remember if it was us or Tampa called a timeout. And Kurt and I, we kind of just said, hey, that safety comes out of the middle field. I'm going deep. We're going, we're running 9. Just confirming that we're not doing a slant. I may give him a head fake slant, but I'm going by him. And absolutely, we get there, we get lined up. I'm on the left side of the ball, and that slant safety starts creeping up, and he's come, and it's kind of like, that's the best thing about football. Stuff happens immediately. You don't have to think a lot. When you see him come, you're like, here we go.
Right. Right.
So I gave Brian a little sling, but he would, it was a lot of hand checking the whole way. And
right.
Some play earlier in the season had happened, to be honest with you, and probably not many people know about this. But obviously, I didn't score all year, and I had an opportunity against Atlanta at home. I was wide open, and Kurt didn't see me till late, and I was in the back of the end zone. He threw it late to me, and I'm waiting on the back of waiting for him, and it was coming to me, and the guy kind of recovered, and he tipped the ball a little bit, and it hit off my chest, just enough, reflected it just enough where it hit off my chest.
Right.
Of course, there were comments, Rick, he's got to catch that ball, whatever. But I just said, wait for that ball again. I'll never wait for it. I'm going to go up for it, and catch its highest point. So when that play was happening and we were hand checking it, and Kurt kind of threw it up, and it wasn't like I had to go run for it. I had to kind of slow up. And then I said, you know what, go up, jump for it, try to screen him off and jump. And that play, it's crazy because, football happens. It's such a fast game. And receivers will tell you a lot of times deep balls, it feels that you can see the rotation of the ball. And that play was like slow motion. I mean, it was just remember like it was yesterday, just hand trying to hold him off. He's pushing on me, and I'm kind of my forearm up against and trying to hold him, and then just jump up and screen him. And that's what I did. And when it all happened, people said the stadium went crazy. I didn't hear a thing. For me personally, it was like, man, I just made the biggest catch of my life. Looked for my family. And then it was like when I got to the sidelines, remember a bunch of teammates hit me, and then it was like someone hit the switch and it got loud again. Remember Old Williams falling over me and Isaac dapping, jumping on me. It was just the most unbelievable feeling.
Dude, I mean, it exploded. It exploded in the dome. It did. The place just went berserk. And, I do wonder, I mean, going back from your high school, about how important your family is and working hard and everything. When you spin around to see the official do this, I mean, did you get transported back to when you were 9 years old, 5 years old in your bed, thinking about playing in the league, and here you are with the biggest catch in franchise history? Was it like that for you?
DeMarco, yes. Yeah, it was a dream come true. For me, I was in my pajamas, man. I had dreamt that moment my whole life. Like I was in my pajamas running through the end zone looking for my dad, my wife, my kids, and that's what I'm saying. I didn't hear a thing. Like it was just me. Like I was there by myself, making that catch like every kid does. And so I knew what I had just done. So I was living in the moment. And then I remember Dick coming up to me and hugging me, and Al Saunders. And it was like the light switch. And then it's like someone woke me up.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was, why you go through all this losing seasons, you work hard, you fight through that stuff for those moments right there. It was just unbelievable.
Well, you know what? I mean, I think I want to say we were shortchanged, but the NFL was changing then. So we had 1 week from the NFC Championship to the Super Bowl. I think that might have helped us. Less time to worry about the ifs, just go play. So we get to Atlanta. We're playing Tennessee again, the rematch. I remember saying when they beat us in Tennessee, I hope we get to see those guys again. And there's only one way to do it. And sure enough, there we are against Jeff Fisher and his squad. So when Isaac Bruce catches that touchdown, when Oz makes the block and we score, when we go ahead, what was your thought then? We're ahead in the Super Bowl in Atlanta. What were you thinking then?
Game over.
Yeah? You were thinking game over? Even with McNair doing what he was doing, it was in the second half?
I thought that, our defense, we're up by 7. I think a lot of people forget that. A lot of people think that if they'd scored that, which I thought he was in from my angle, but
talking about the last play. Yeah.
That was for the tie, that would have been for the tie unless they went for 2. But yeah, I was confident. I was confident in our defense. I mean, like I said, that year, I mean, the offense got all the attention, but you guys, I mean, I look at Todd Light scoring touchdowns, Owen scoring touchdowns, Grant Wistrom scoring. It was unbelievable. I mean, let's not forget, like you said, we were 6. Am I wrong? We were 6.
Yeah, we were good on defense, no doubt. 57 sacks, 10 defensive scores, I think. Yeah, we were there.
I think, obviously McNair was a beast. I mean, you look at him breaking tackles, and I mean, if there were tearaway jerseys, he would have had nothing left on. I mean, he was amazing. He was unbelievable. But no, I didn't think. And granted, you got to give them all the credit in the world because
they fought their tails off. Yeah,
they did. Really could have blown them out. We had some miscues that we didn't really offensively. We didn't play like we really could have, and and they crawled back in it and made it a great Super Bowl. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Mike Jones makes the tackle. Like you said, you thought he was in. I was like, I think I was 5-6 yards in front of it. I couldn't tell. But I heard Dick Vermeil from the sideline go, woohoo! Remember that? That's on the video. I heard that from the sideline. I looked up and I said, oh my God, there's no more time. It's on the one. We just won the blanking Super Bowl. We just won everything. I told people when they asked me what was the feeling like to win the Super Bowl, I said, I felt like I could feel the earth was round, like for the first time ever. And we're on top. You know what I mean? There were no other games to play. We had won them all.
Well, the first thing I think of is Prince, Party Like It's 1999. Come on, man. I mean, that's probably the last time. I mean, I don't think we went to sleep for 48 hours. I mean,
heck no. I don't remember the parade.
I remember, but I don't remember. I don't remember getting on the pickup truck. I remember, great time, and what a great city to St. Louis, man. I still to this day, I know there's some loud places, Seattle, when they had a dome, but I don't know, St. Louis, man, when we were rocking it, that place was as loud as it gets.
Man, I'm telling you, since you were in a different realm when you caught that touchdown pass, that roof almost came off when you caught it. I'm serious. The place almost blew up. It was, wow. I've never been in a louder environment than in that moment. That was just so special. Hey, before I let you go, this is so weird. Besides the obvious, there's so many connections between you and Cooper Kupp, more than I knew before we started this podcast. He was a guy that's overlooked. And when I do talk to you about him, or when I talk to other people about Cooper Kupp, there seems to be a hint of disrespect, about him. Like, yeah, they look for him, or yeah, they're making an effort to get him the football. So like he's not as good as his numbers say. Do you watch him play? What do you think of Cooper Kupp right now?
Yeah, he's a great football player. I mean, you could tell he's got physical tools, but he's got the mental tools too. He knows the game inside and out, and that's what separates him. I understand what people are saying. I mean, he gets 15, 17 targets a game. And probably there's people that are envious of him, and I get it. I mean, like I said, it's receivers. That's how we all want the ball, and people from afar look at Cooper and they're jealous. That's just the bottom line. They're jealous because he's catching a ton of balls. He's getting red zone targets. But he knows the game. He gets open. He makes plays. You can't fault the kid. I mean, anybody would love to be in his situation, but at the end of the day, he's a great football player. And you watch him do the other things too. He blocks downfield. He gets excited when other guys make plays, when Odell's making plays. I mean, he is. It's envy, and some of it's jealousy, because he is. They want to be in his role. Everybody wants that spot, and he's
no doubt.
And listen, he needs to understand he's in a great place. It's like I always said, man. When I came to the Rams. This game, and it's life. It's being in the right place at the right time. He's in a great situation with a great coach, with an offensive mind, with two great quarterbacks, with Jared and now and Matthew Stafford. It's just, that ball he dropped in.
Yeah, my God. Yeah.
Not many guys in the league can make that throw, I mean, he ran a good route, but it's 40 yards on a dime, just literally those balls catch themselves. I joke with people. I say, just put your hands out. He dropped it right in. But yeah, Cooper's a great football player, and not because he's got such good physical tools, but he's as mentally as good. I'd put him up mentally against anybody in the league, knowing the game like he does. And that's why, people ask me how I played 17 years. It wasn't because at the end of the year, at the end of my career, I didn't have the physical tools, but mentally the game slowed down so much that I knew where the holes were. I knew what guys were doing. I knew I knew how to create holes and where the windows were. And that's why Tom Brady's so unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. He just knows the game. Yeah.
Goes to spots. And Cooper at a young age is already where some people it takes 10 years to get to. He's already there. Wow. And that's my opinion.
I love it. No, he reminds me of you because he kills people with kindness and facts. Like the best trash talking you did on the field was that. That's all you need to say. Right. Yeah. Don't go anywhere. Stay up here. It's first down again. You know what I mean? That's how it works there.
Absolutely.
Ricky, man, thanks so much. That was awesome. I love these trips down memory lane. This is so special. His description of the catch, wow, unbelievable. All right, that's a wrap on this episode of Rams Iconic. Hope you enjoyed our conversation with the great Ricky Proehl. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you'd be so kind, please go ahead and leave us a review. Thank you for listening. I'm DeMarco Farr. We'll see you next time on Rams Iconic.